What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Stepfon, and tonight I'm going to be talking about and celebrating one of the most greatest, influential, multi-talented, undisputed, breathtaking, gorgeous queen of all time, Miss Janet Jackson, on her birthday. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself on this musical and birthday celebration for Queen Janet Jackson throughout the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification for new videos. Thank y'all for the daily support. I appreciate it so much. So here we go. Happy birthday to the forever blueprint of music. One of the greatest, influential, multi-talented, beloved, undisputed, gorgeous, and historical queens of music. When it comes to Janet Jackson, she's the forever blueprint of music. As we celebrate the breathtaking, gorgeous, multi-talented, beloved queen on her birthday, we are taking a look back and celebrating at the musical icon, incredible evolution over the years. From her early years alongside the Jackson family to breaking out on her own for Control and then the Rhythm Nation era. Janet Jackson is one of the most successful female singers of all time, selling millions of records worldwide and influencing countless artists that came after her. This multi-talented singer, actress, and dancer is best known for her create and social conscious songs and albums, as well as extravaganza stage shows and dance routine. The 10th and youngest child of the Jackson family, she began her career performing at the MGM Grand. Later, she began acting in the series The Jacksons in 1976 and went on to appear in other television shows throughout the 70s and early 80s, including Good Times, Different Strokes, and Fame. After signing a record deal with AM Records in 1982, she became a pop icon following of her third and fourth studio albums, Control in 1986 and Rhythm Nation 1814 and 1989. Her collaborations with record producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis incorporated elements of rhythm and blues, funk, rap, disco, and instrument beats, which led to crossover success in popular music. By the end of the 1990s, Janet was named by Billboard magazine as the second most successful recording artist of the decade after Mariah Carey. Among her biggest songs included Together Again, Rhythm Nation, That's the Way Love Goes, and All For You. Her career was harshly stalled in 2004 following her appearance at the 2004 Super Bowl half show where her breast was exposed by Justin Timberlake to millions of people watching at home. Despite Justin not seeing any backlash, Janet was blacklisted from by the industry, with her music being reduced on radio and television. She came back in January of 2022 with the highly anticipated 4-hour document series entitled Janet Jackson, where she opened about her life and career. Growing up, I always loved her. OMG, she was so damn sexy from head to toe, and She was one of my first childhood favorite sexy celebrity crushes with the God-gifted talent and the incredible talent that we all enjoy, love, and appreciate. Janet Jackson is without a doubt one of the most iconic figures in music. However, many will agree that she doesn't quite get the respect she deserves at this stage in her illustrious career. The fight for equality and sexual liberation is tearing its way through the industry by now. But Miss Jackson has long been an influential figure when it comes to using pop music to rip up the rule book and set a new agenda. Although Janet Jackson's influence on the music industry is immeasurable, it's her dedication to social justice that puts her on another level above her peers. She's been a beacon of life for many majority communities as she continuously used her platform calling out social injustice. In an age where celebrities are accused of phony allyship and fake activism, Janet Jackson has spent most of her career tackling difficult social issues with the intensity that others lack. She has made music that and talked about feminism and racial justice, emphasizing her perspective and experience as a black woman. But she even goes off to make art for the LGBTQ plus community during times where it could cost an artist their career. Janet Jackson concludes all that it means to be the queen of pop. It's unmistakable that Queen Janet Jackson is a powerhouse in the music industry and once the top woman in pop. The numbers don't lie. Janet Jackson has most impressive careers that any woman in music with a astonishing 100 million records sold worldwide. This is no small feat for anybody. But for a solo female artist to sell this much is something to celebrate. Janet, along with her brother Michael, is in the top 10 artists with the most Billboard Hot 100s number ones, with Janet raking in a whooping 10, with 7 platinum or multi-platinum albums under her belt. She solidified herself as one of the best-selling artists of all time. However, overall, numbers only show so much. Her influence on the music industry at large is even more evident of her queen status. Apart from her success, her legacy goes far beyond herself. She acted as the blueprint for a magnitude for other female artists. Janet Jackson is one of the most influential and greatest artists in history. Her music, dance, performance style has always been instrumental, inspiring many significant female artists in the years following her debut. She has pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable for women to make music about. Janet Jackson was born on May 16, 1966 in Gary, Indiana, to Catherine Estelle Scrooge and Joseph Walter Jackson. She was the youngest of 10 children and a devoted Jehovah's Witness family. When it comes to her siblings, her siblings including Rebe, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Latoya, Marlon, Brandon, which died on the same day of his birthday, Michael, Randy, and last but not least, Janet. Before she turned 3 years old, her brothers formed the legendary group, the Jackson 5, and signed a record deal with Motown. Soon after having their first number one hit, the family moved to the neighborhood of Los Angeles. Janet had initially desired to be a horse racing jockey or entertainment lawyer with plans to support herself throughout acting. Despite this, she was anticipated to pursue a career in entertainment and considered the idea of after recording herself in the studio. At the age of 7, Janet and her brother Randy performed at the MGM Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. She began acting in the variety show The Jacksons in 1976. In 1977, she was selected to have a starring role as Penny Gordon Woods in the sitcom Good Times. She later starred and got a recurring role on Different Strokes, portraying Charlene Dupree from seasons 3 to 6. Best known as a TV actress, she was initially reluctant to start a career. She said, "I was coming off of a show that I absolutely hate doing, which was Fame. I didn't want to do the first record, Janet Jackson. I wanted to go to college, but I did it for my father." Under her father's controlling demand and being forced into a music career, her father/manager, Joseph Jackson, arranged a contract for her with AM Records when she was 16. On September 21st, 1982, she released her self-titled debut album. Her self-titled debut album, described as a dance and contemporary R&B record. Songwriters Renee Moore and Angela Winbush contribute much of the album's lyrics. Moore and Winbush shared production credits with Foster Stevens, Jerry Weaver, and Bobby Watson. 5 singles were released from the album. Young Love was the first. It reached number 64 on the Principal America single charts, the Billboard Hot 100, number 6 on the American Hot R&B and Hip Hop charts. In New Zealand, Young Love reached number 16. The second single from Janet Jackson was Come Give Your Love to Me and peaked at number 58 on Hot 100. The follow-up single, Say You Do, only appeared on the Hot R&B / hip-hop song and hip-hop dance clubs song charts, peaking at numbers 15 and number 11 respectively. The last 2 singles from the album, Love and My Best Friend, Don't Mess Up a Good Thing, didn't appear on any charts worldwide. The album was an overall failure. During this time, she appeared on the TV show Fame in 1983. On October 23rd, 1984, she released her sophomore album, Dream Street, more pop, and her debut album, Bubblegum Soulfield. The album was not the runaway success her father thought it would be, peaking at number 147 on the Billboard 200 in 1984. The album did have one Midas hit for Janet, the top 10 R&B single Don't Stand Another Chance, which was produced by her brother Marlon. Also, for the video for the song Dream Street, her first music video was shot during the shooting of the TV show Fame. Dream Street is both the lowest studio album of Janet Jackson's career in the U.S. and her only studio album to not spawn any hits on the Billboard Hot 100. After two successful albums with her self-titled debut in 1982, the same year where her brother Michael released his earth-shattering, groundbreaking, and greatest selling musical blockbuster Thriller, and her sophomore album Dream Street in 1984. After the release of her second album Dream Street in 1984, she struggled breaking free from the professional and personal control of her father, and she felt that she was forced into a recording contract against her wishes. She's married soon divorced James DeBarge of the R&B group DeBarge. She suffered her business affairs from her father and business manager Joseph, and the rest of the Jackson family, in order to find her own voice. Among her professional struggles, she rebelled against her family's wishes by marrying James DeBarge of the family recording group DeBarge in 1984. The Jacksons disapproved of the relationship, citing his immaturity and substance abuse. Janet Jackson left her husband in January 1985 and later granted an annulment that year. Trading Joseph Jackson for John McClain as a manager, he introduced her to the legendary songwriting production duo from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Oklahoma, Nebraska, Jimmy Jam Harris III, and Terry Lewis, former Prince associates and ex-members of the time. When Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis agreed to produce her third studio album, they wanted to appeal primarily to the African American community, in addition to achieving crossover success in the pop music charts. Within 6 weeks, Janet and the duo create her third studio album, which became Control. On February 4th, 1986, she released her third album, Control. Her collaborations with songwriters and record producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis resulted in an unconventional sound, a fusion of rhythm and blues, rap vocals, funk, disco, and sympathized percussion that established Janet, Terry, and Jimmy as the lead innovators of contemporary R&B. The distinct triple swing beat utilized on the record, also considered to be precursor to the new Jack Swing era. The album became her commercial breakthrough and established her to transition into the popular music market, with Control being one of the most formal albums of the 1980s and contemporary music. The album has been praised by critics as both artistic feature and a personal treatment of self-accusation. It has been regarded as a template upon which numerous female artists has modeled their career, particularly black women. Following its release, Control became her first album to top the Billboard 200 album charts in the United States, and 5 of its commercial singles, What Have You Done For Me Lately, Nasty, Control, When I Think of You, and Let's Wait a While, peaked at number 5, the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100 single charts, making Janet Jackson the first artist to have 5 top 5 hits from one album on the Billboard Hot 100. When I Think of You became her first number 1 hit. Control also set a record for the long continuous run of charting hits singles on the Hot 100 at 65 consecutive weeks. Music videos were created to promote the album singles and showcase her dancing ability and become a catalyst for MTV's evolving demographics. The album remained on the top Billboard 200 for over 2 years. It was certified 5 times platinum and has sold over more than 10 million records worldwide, copies worldwide. Control went to receive several awards and nominations for the 29th annual Grammy Awards. Control received 4 nominations: Album of the Year, Best R&B Song for What You Done For Me Lately, Best R&B Vocal Performance, Non-Classical Producer of the Year for Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. They won Producer of the Year. The album earned record-breaking 12 nominations from the American Music Awards, winning 4 of the 12 nominations, which is an unbroken record. Janet also won 3 Soul Train Music Awards and 6 Billboard Music Awards. At this point, she was successfully shaking off the experience of becoming a Shadow Jackson child, becoming an artist in her own right. The album lyrical content contained several themes of empowerment, inspired by an incident of sexual harassment when she recalled the danger hit home when a couple of guys started stalking me on the street. Instead of running to Terry or Jimmy for protection, I took a stand. I backed them down, and that's how songs like Nasty and What Have You Done For Me Lately was born, out of a sense of self-defense. Its fusion of dance, pop, and industry music with hip-hop and R&B undertone influenced the development of the new Jack Swing era, bridging the gap of the two latter styles. This accompanied music video shot by the album singles became popular on MTV, attained by a then unknown Paulo Abdul a record contract for her choreographed work. Her accessible sound and especially dance videos were irresistible to MTV, it helped the channel evolve from rock programming to a broader beat-driven musical mix. In respect of her influence of the channel, the videos from Control were all over MTV, and Janet established herself as an instant dominant pop figure, talked about in the same sentences as Madonna and her older brother Michael. It's important to notice that Control actual anthems were expressions of black female pride. Control spawned a whopping 6 videos, great ones which played an unmeasurable role in the shift of towards visible black pop. On September 19th, 1989, she released her 4th album, Rhythm Nation 1814. Although her record label desired a direct sequel to Control, she chose to include a socially conscious theme among various musical styles. She said, "I know an album or a song can't change the world. I want my music and dance to catch the audience attention and hold it long enough for them to listen to the lyrics." The album's central theme of unity was developed in response to various crimes and tragedies reported in the media. Collaborating with songwriters and record producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, she drew inspiration from various tragedies and reported through the news media, exploring racism, poverty, and sustained abuse, and additional to themes of romance. Noted for its use of sampling and utilizing heavily swing sympathized percussion throughout its production, the record compasses a variety of musical styles such as New Jack Swing, hard rock, pop, dance, and indie, and music, and different other music. Dance songs range from dance rhythms to soft balladry. Given it appear across multiple radio formats. It is the only album in history of the United States Billboard 100 single charts to have 7 commercial singles peak at the top 5 position. It's also the first album to produce #1 hits on the charts in 3 separate calendar years, beginning with Miss You So Much in 1989, Escapade and Black Cat in 1990, connecting with Love Would Never Do Without You in 1991, Rhythm Nation 1814 was recorded in over a period of 7 months. Its production took place at Fly Time Studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with majority of the album being recorded in the winter of 1988, with singles Miss You So Much, Rhythm Nation, Escapade, Alright, Come Back to Me, Black Cat, and Love Will Never Do Without You. It became the first album in history to produce multiple #1 hits in 3 separate calendar years, as well as the only album to achieve 7 top 5 singles on the Hot 100, favorites for its choreograph and warhouse setting. The Rhythm Nation music video is considered one of the most iconic and popular in history, with her military ensemble making her a fashion icon. The video for Love Will Never Do Without You is notable for being the most instant of a transition into sexual imagery and bar riffing, bar and style becoming her trademark. It made history as the only album to generate 7 top 5 hits on the Billboard Hot 100, surpassing Michael Jackson's Thriller and Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA in 1984. Additionally, it's one of the 9 albums aside Michael Jackson's Bad in 1987, Saturday Night Fever, the original music soundtrack in 1977, Whitney Houston with Whitney in 1987, George Michael's Faith in 1987, Paula Abdul, Forever Your Girl in 1989, Mariah Carey's self-titled debut in 1990, and Usher's Confessions in 2004 to produce a minimum of 4 number ones. In 1990, the album earned Grammy nominations for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best R&B Song for Miss You So Much, Best Instrument Arranged Accompanied Vocalist, Best Long-Form Music Video for Rhythm Nation, winning the award. Also, Janet Jackson was nominated for Producer of the Year, non-classical, becoming the first woman to be nominated for the award. Following the year, she received nomination for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance for Black Cat. In addition to Best R&B Song and Best R&B Vocal Performance Female for Alright, Janet Jackson became a role model for young people to emulate, and the message she got into the young people of this country through the lyrics of Rhythm Nation is having positive effect. Considered a landmark album, it has also been cited as an influence in the works of numerous artists, musical artists, setting statistic trends in the years following its release. Rhythm Nation 1814 became her second consecutive album to top the Billboard 200, and it was certified 6 times platinum. It became the top best-selling album of 1990 in the U.S. and it has sold over an estimate 12 million copies worldwide. Her Rhythm Nation World Tour in 1990 became the most successful debut tour in history, setting a record for the fastest sellout of Tokyo Dome Stadium in Tokyo. She established Rhythm Nation Scholarship, donating funds from the tour to various educational programs. As Janet Jackson began her tours, she was acknowledged for the impact of her music. She became a role model for young girls. She also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and recognition to her impact in the recording industry for her mass success experienced by her placed her in the same league with her brother Michael, Madonna, and Tina Turner for her achievements and influence. In 1991, she married Renee Elizabeth Jr. They began dating in 1987. The marriage was kept a secret until the split was announced in 1999 of January. The couple separated and were separate and divorced in 2000. He filed a lawsuit against her, estimating to have between 10 to 25 million, which did not reach a settlement for 3 years. She was at a center of a high bidding war over her recording contract. In 1991, her original label AM sought to renew her contract, while others such as Atlantic, Virgin, and Capitol all vied to sign in her. After meeting with Virgin owner Richard Branson, she signed with the label. The contract was worth an estimate $40 million, making her the world's then highest paid musical act. The recording contract also established her reputation as the queen of pop. In 1992, Janet provided guest vocals on Luther Vandross on The Best Things in Life for Free from the Mo Money soundtrack, becoming a top 10 Billboard hit, reaching top 10 internationally. On May 18th, 1993, she released her 5th album, Janet. After writing songs with themes of independence and for control and social injustice for Rhythm Nation, Janet desired to devote her new album to love and relationships, and describing the theme of her new album as intimacy and sexual communication is the name of the game, she said. Lyrically, the theme of Janet is sexual intimacy, avoiding departure from her conservative image. Much of her lyrics emphasize a woman's perspective on sexuality and demand for practicing sex. The album was recorded at Flytime Studios in Edina, Minnesota from September 1992 to February of 1993. The album experimented a diverse number of genres, including contemporary R&B, deep house, swing jazz, hip-hop, rock, new jack swing, and pop. Janet remains one of the only seven albums in history to produce 6 top 10 hits on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, including the number 1 singles, That's the Way Love Goes, and Again. It also spawned top 5 and 4 promotional singles, receiving various certifications worldwide. The lead single, That's the Way Love Goes, won the Grammy Award for Best R&B Song and topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 8 consecutive weeks. Again, reached number 1 for 2 weeks, while If and Anytime, Any Place peaked at number 4. Because of Love and You Want It charted within the top 10. She received 5 nominations at the 1994 American Music Awards for favorite pop slash rock female artist, favorite soul slash R&B female artist, favorite pop slash rock album, and favorite soul slash R&B album for Janet, and favorite soul slash R&B single for That's the Way Love Goes, but lost all the awards to Whitney Houston for the Bodyguard soundtrack. In the same year, she received 2 Grammy nominations for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best R&B Song for That's the Way Love Goes, winning Best R&B Song. Several critics asserted she was justly overlooked in the Grammys and in the Grammys' 3 major categories: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. Janet's sentiment her as an international icon and a major sex symbol. The album sold certified 6 times platinum and sold over 14 million copies worldwide. In the same year, she made her film debut, and the hook classic Poetic Justice premiered on July 23rd, 1993. It was directed by the late great John Singleton. The film starred Janet Jackson, Tupac Shakur, with Regina King and Joe Torre in supporting roles. She played a poet named Justice, who's a young woman living in South Central Los Angeles, named after her late mother, who gave birth to her while attending law school. While mourning the loss of her boyfriend Markel, who was played by Q-Tip and was killed, she becomes deeply depressed, spending most of her time in her house with her cat White Boy, and the same house she inherited from her grandmother, and only going out to her job at a local hair salon. A talented poet, Justice reads many of her poems throughout the film, both to other characters and voiceover. One day, when she was working at the salon, a young postal clerk named Lucky, who was played by the late great Tupac Shakur, arrived and began flirting with her. Her and her female boss Jessie rebuffed his offense, pretending to be lesbians, mocking Lucky with their relationship. Lucky has also suffered tragedy in his life. His main focus is caring for his young daughter Keisha, who he had forcibly removed from the care of her crack addiction mother. Her friend Aisha, who was played by Regina King, managed to talk Justice into taking a road trip to Oakland when Aisha's boyfriend, Chicago, who was played by Joe Carey, and Lucky's co-worker at the post office, Justice Worry accepts, mainly because she got to go to Oakland for a hair show and our car stopped working at the last minute. Be known to Justice, Lucky is also on a trip, and now she will be sharing a postal van with him and 2 mutual friends. Initially, they argue, but they soften towards each other as they gradually discovered their similarities. Behind the scene, there were numerous rumors about a supposed love scene between Janet and Tupac. Janet said, in an interview, Tupac said things were going fine and on set until he was approached in a trailer by a member of the film crew to take an AIDS test in order to participate in a love scene with Janet. He said, I don't know if it was Janet that it came from all of a sudden, but all of a sudden, out of the blue, they wanted me to take an AIDS test for this love scene, and I didn't disagree. If we was really going to make love, he said in an interview after filming Rap, he said, if I can make love with Janet Jackson, I take 4 AIDS tests. But if I'm going to do a love scene with her just like somebody else did and they didn't take a test, I'm not taking the test. Not only am I taking the test, but get out of my trailer. After the conversation, he explained that 4 more people on the crew approached him in an attempt to sway his decision. After refusing, Tupac says the love scene was scrapped overall and they settled for an on-screen test. Despite the uncomfortable request, he maintained that him and Janet remained friendly during filming. According to him, she gave him his number to remain in contact. Tupac revealed in the same interview that when he dialed the number, it was no longer in service. The film received mixed reviews from critics who criticized the screenplay but praised Janet and Pac's performances and chemistry. It reached #1 on the box office in the opening weekend. She received Academy Award and Grammy Award and Golden Award nomination for Best Original Song for again, which reached #1 on the Billboard 100. The film has developed a cult following, especially for the chemistry between Janet and Tupac. In September of '93, she appeared topless on the cover of Rolling Stone with her breast covered by her then husband. The photograph was the original version of the crop image used on the Janet album cover. She remained clearly established as both as a role model and sex symbol. The Rolling Stone photo of her became the most recognizable and most lampooned magazine covers. During this time, she was set to sign a multi-million dollar deal with Coca-Cola when her brother was involved in a child sex abuse scandal, which she denied any wrongdoing. She provided moral support, defending her brother and denying numerous abuse accusations regarding to her parents. In 1995, Janet and Michael collab on a song called Scream from his 9th album, History. Scream is an aggression song directed at the tabloid media and a coverage of the child sexual abuse made against Michael Jackson in 1993. It was written, composed, and produced by Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Michael Jackson, and Janet. Michael played many of the instruments. It incorporates elements of pop, R&B, extra rock, dance pop, and funk. Recording for Scream took place at the Hit Factory in New York City in October of 1994. And at Fly Time Studios in Ardino, Minnesota in 1994 of December. The song was leaked to radio stations despite Epic Records attempt to keep it off of air until the release date. Janet Jackson wanted to be more involved with the project as a show of sibling support. It was the first time they had worked together since 1984 when Michael provided backing vocals on Don't Stand Another Chance. Janet said it was very fun working with her brother again, and seeing her brother's work was interesting. Scream was written, composed, and produced by the Jackson siblings with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It was the first time Michael Jackson had worked with Jam and Lewis, although Janet has worked with them successfully on numerous occasions. The album was created on intention, following half R&B, half pop rock themes, the same themes that brought him success on his prior album Dangerous. He was credited for playing different instruments such as the keyboard, the synthesizer, guitar, drums, and percussion on the single and album. In 1995, Scream gained 11 music awards, MTV Video Music Award nominations, more than any other artist in music video, and one dance video, dance choreograph, and best art direction. It also was given a Billboard Music Award for best pop rock video. A year later, it won a Grammy for Best Music Video Short Film form. Shortly, was Guinness World Records listed as the most expensive video made at a cost of $7 million, although this was later refuted by the director. It debuted at number 5 on the Hot 100 singles charts, becoming the first song ever to debut within the top 5. On October 10th, 1995, she released her first compilation album, Design of a Decade, from 1986 to 1996. It featured 14 of Janet Jackson's top 40 hits from her previous albums, Control, Rhythm Nation, and Janet, and plus 2 new tracks, Runaway and 24 Play. Her influence continued to flourish and gathered acclaim. Her contract with Virgin Records for a reported $80 million a year. The contract established her as the highest paid recording artist in history, surpassing the recording industry then parallel $60 million contracts earned by Madonna and Michael Jackson. She began suffering from several depression and anxiety, leading her to chronicle the experience in her 6th album, The Velvet Rope, released in October of 1997. And on October 7th, 1997, she released her 6th album entitled The Velvet Rope. Upon experiencing an emotional breakdown, she began facing a long-term case of depression. She long developed her new record as a concept album using introspective as its theme. Its title was a metaphor for emotional boundaries as well as an allusion to an individual need to feel special. Its lyrics address several subject matter such as depression, self-worth, social network, domestic violence. It also compasses themes of sexuality, including BDSM, sexual orientation, and same-sex relationships. Due to its sexual explicit content, the album reinforced her public image as a sex symbol and the most erotic vocalist of the 1990s. Its incorporation of social issues regarding sexual orientation, combat homophobia, established her reputation as a gay icon. Received the GLAAD Media Award for outstanding music. Its composition fuses various genres, including pop, R&B, trip hop, folk, jazz, rock, and electrical music. Considered to be her most mature recording, it's regarded as a template for pop artists transitioning to a darker or rebellious sound as a precursor to the development of R&B. The hit singles from the album included "Got Until It's Gone," "Together Again," "I Get Lonely," "Go Deep," "Every Time," and "You." The Velvet Rope became her fourth consecutive album to top the Billboard 200 at number 1. Of the 6 singles released from the project, "Got Until It's Gone" won the 1998 Grammy Award for Best Music Video. "Together Again" became an international number 1 hit, and "I Get Lonely" became her 18th consecutive top 10 single on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, making her the only female artist in history to achieve that feat. The Velvet Rope tour in support of the album grew critical acclaim for its lyrical as well as its controversy for depiction of domestic violence and bondage. The Velvet Rope became her most intimate and personal work to date, confronting domestic abuse, AIDS, and homophobia with her most sexual explicit songs ever. It explored her dark side, her emotional breakdown, and the secret that shocked the world. Regarding its content, she said, "I'm sure it did alienate a lot of people, but that's how I was feeling, and I wanted to write about it, so I did," she later stated. The Velvet Rope is both the highest and low point. On a personal level, it was a low point because I was going through depression, and it was a difficult time for me. At the same time, it became my highest point because I overcame the depression by talking about the crossroads I was at. There were so many things surface that I can suppress, stuff from my childhood, stuff from all over the place. I was crazed trying to figure out where it all coming from and how to deal with it. I could made a wrong turn and tried to drink and drug it away, but drinking and drugs never appealed to me. I wanted to stop. Talking it out and creating such an introspective works as The Velvet Rope helped me to do that. Her ability to effortlessly present necessary, meaningful messages through classic dance music is legendary. She can prove that artists don't have to scream to get a message across. There is a middle ground. She had Perfect Her Mix. The lead single, Got Until It's Gone, was released in August of 97 with guest vocals from Jody Mitchell and Q-Tip. The song music video depicting a Poetic celebration won the Grammy Award for Best Short Form Music Video. Together Again became an 8 number 1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100, placing her on par with Elton John, the Rolling Stones, and Diana Ross. It's been a record 46 weeks on the Hot 100 and 19 weeks on the United Kingdom single charts. It sold 6 million copies worldwide, becoming the best-selling singles of all time. I Get Lonely peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100. It received a Grammy nomination for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. It was her 18th consecutive top 10 hit, making her the only female artist to gather that achievement, and surpassing only by Elvis Presley and the Beatles. Several singles were released, including the ballad Every Time and Go Deep Every Time, which was controversial for the nudity displayed in the music video. The album fully established Janet Jackson as a gay icon for his theme regarding homosexuality and protesting homophobia. The album considered far more explicit in nature than her previous release, Janet. The album was certified triple platinum, selling over 10 million copies worldwide. The HBO special, The Velvet Rope Live at Madison Square Garden, gathered more than 15 million viewers. It surpassed the ratings of all 4 major networks among viewers subscribed to the channel. The concert won an Emmy Award from 4 nominations. Janet Jackson donated a portion of the tour sales to America's Promise, an organization founded by Colin Powell to assist disenfranchised youth. As the tour included, Janet led her guest vocals to several collaborations, including Shaggy, Love Me, used for the film How Stella Got a Groove Back, as well as Girlfriend, Boyfriend with Blackstreet, and What's It Gonna Be with Busta Rhymes. The latter 2 music videos, both among the most expensive music videos ever produced, with What's It Gonna Be becoming a number 1 hit on the Billboard Hip Hop and Hot Rap chart, reaching top 3 on the Hot 100. At the 1999 World Music Awards, Janet Jackson received the Legend Award for Outstanding Contribution to Pop Industry. Billboard ranked Janet Jackson as the second most successful artist of the decade, behind Mariah Carey. On April 24th, 2001, she released her 7th album, All For You, on Virgin Records. Released on April 24th, 2001 by Virgin Records, the album development and theme was rooted in her separation from ex-husband, as she was getting to know what dating is like for the first time. Unlike Velvet Rope, which saw Janet Jackson tackling darker issues such as depression and domestic violence, All For You showcase a mixture of upbeat dance, pop, and slow R&B sounds, incorporating rock, disco, funk, as well as soft rock and East Asian music. Its lyrics focus on passion, romance, and intercourse, also discussing themes of betrayal and deceit. The explicit lyrics and sexual content of several songs sparked controversy, causing the album to be banned in several countries. All For You generally received positive reviews from music critics who commended its upbeat nature and sonic innovation of several songs. It was it was also considered one of her sexiest albums among the best of her career. The album received 3 Grammy nominations, including Best Pop Vocal Album, winning Best Dance Recordings for its title track. It became her 5th consecutive album to top the Billboard 200 album charts in the United States and had the biggest opening week sales of her career. The lead single, All For You, was one of her most successful singles and broke multiple airplay records. In the U.S., it was the biggest hit of the year, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 weeks and becoming a top 10 hit on the majority singles charts worldwide. Someone Called My Lover reached number 3 on the Hot 100 within the top 20. Wow. Son of a Gun, I bet the song is About You peaked at within the top 40 in most territories. Come On Get Up, released as a promotional single in Japan and promotional for the album. She was declared MTV's icon, receiving a televised tribute titled MTV Icon Janet Jackson. The special honored her contribution within music and popular culture in recognition of being the most influential and beloved tastemakers in pop and contemporary pop. During that period, Janet Jackson was present numerous career accolades, including the American Awards, Music Media Awards, the Lifetime Achievement Awards, and the Recording Academy Governor Award. Preceding the album received the release of her 7th album. MTV honored her with the network's MTV Icon ceremony, honoring her significant contributions to music, videos, and pop culture, while tremendously impacting the MTV generation. The event paid tribute to her career and influence. It opened number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 605,000 copies sold, the highest first week sales of her career, among the highest first week sales by a female artist in history. The album was a return to upbeat dance style, receiving generally positive reception. The album was certified 2 times platinum and sold over 9 million copies worldwide. The following year, Janet Jackson received media attention for her rumored relationships with numerous men, including Jermaine Dupri. She also collaborated with Beenie Man on his song Feel It Ball, produced by the Neptunes. In February of 2004, she was chosen by NFL and MTV to perform at the Super Bowl. She performed a melody of All For You, Rhythm Nation, and an exception of The Knowledge before performing Rock Your Body alongside surprise guest Justin Timberlake. As he sang the lyric, I'm gonna have you naked, by the end of his song, he tore open her costume, exposing her right breast to 140 million viewers. The incident was referred as Nipplegate by the media. Janet Jackson issued an apology after the performance, saying that the incident was accidental and an attempt explaining that Justin Timberlake was only meant to pull away a busty and leave the red lace bra intact. She commented, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry if I offended anyone. That was truly not my intention. MTV, CBS, the NFL had no knowledge of this soul whatsoever. And unfortunately, this whole thing went wrong in the end. She will apologize, also issuing an apology, calling the accident a road malfunction. CBS, NFL, and MTV deny any knowledge on the incident and all responsibility for it. Following the incident, CBS permit Justin Timberlake to appear at the 46th Grammys Awards ceremony, but then not allow her to attend, forcing her to withdraw being scheduled as a presenter. On March 30th, 2004, she released her eighth album, Damita Jo. This was one of the albums released during the blacklisting. The album takes its title from her middle name. Its music incorporated pop, rock, electro, house, and hip-hop styles, in addition to R&B to concept. Its basic is alternate personalities, involving monogamy, intimacy, love, and dance. Its production from producers including Dallas Austin, Scott Storch, Rich Harris, Just Blaze, and Kanye West. In addition to Janet Jackson and Jam and Lewis, Damita Jo achieved moderate commercial success and was considered a disappointment in the media compared to her previous efforts. It sold 381,000 copies during its first week of release in the United States, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 behind Usher's Confessions. It was her first album to not reach number 1 in the U.S. since Dream Street in 1984, and gathered her second highest week sales in the U.S., but it was still certified platinum. Damita Jo sold over 2 million copies worldwide and received a Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary album, R&B album. She was awarded several career awards throughout its promotion. The album spawned 4 singles: Just a Little While, I Want You, All Night, Don't Stop, and R&B Junkie. Prior to the incident, Damita Jo expected to outshare previous release All For You. All three singles received positive reviews but failed to achieve high chart position, although each was predicted to perform extremely well under different circumstances. The Super Bowl halftime show is considered to be one of the most controversial televised events in history, and she was later listed in Guinness World Records as the most searched in internet history and the most searched for news item. She began recording her ninth studio album, 20 Years Old, in 2005. She recorded with producers Jermaine Dupri, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis for several months during the following year. The album title was reference to the 2 decades since the release of her breakthrough album, Control, representing the album celebration, joyful liberation, and history-making musical style. On September 20th, 2006, she released her ninth album, 20 Years Old. Its title, referencing her third studio album, Control, from 1986, is a commemoration for its 20th anniversary. 20 Years Old represents the joyful liberation and historical musical style of Control. Her airplay and music channel backlist remained persistent, massively affecting her chart performance and exposure. However, lead single Call On Me, which featured Nelly, peaked at number 25 on the Hot 100 and number 1 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop song charts, and number 6 in the UK. The second single, So Excited, was released on August 28, 2006. Like the previous single, the song was mixed reviews from music critics, with considering the song from the highlight from 20 Years Old, while others found it disappointing. So Excited peaked at number 90 in the Hot 100. It also became her 39th top 40 single on the Hot R&B Hip Hop song charts, reaching number 34. Additionally, on the Hot Dance Club Play charts, So Excited became her 22 consecutive top 10 single and her 17 number 1 hit on the charts. It was received in Europe and Finland. So Excited peaked at number 9 and peaking at number 13 in Spain. The third single in North America was With You, was released to radio on December 11, 2006. Well received by critics. The song managed to reach number 65 on the region Hot 100 Hot R&B and Hip Hop songs charts. 20 Years Old received mixed reviews from music critics and fans, with some questioning the involvement of Dupri. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, making her 8th consecutive top 3 debut and 2nd consecutive top number 2 album debut. The album was certified platinum, becoming her 8th consecutive platinum record. Worldwide, the album sold 1.5 million. 20 Years Old earned a Grammy nomination for Best Contemporary R&B Album in 2007. After the album release, Jermaine Dupri was condemned for his production and misguidance of the album, and was removed from his position at Virgin Records. In 2007, she starred as a psychotherapist in the Tyler Perry film Why Did I Get Married? It became her third consecutive film to open at number one at the box office, grossing over $60 million. She signed with Island Records after her contract with Virgin Records was fulfilled. She interrupted plans for touring and began recording with various producers including Rodney Darkchild Jenkins, Tricky Stewart, and Stargate. On February 22nd, 2008, she released her 10th album, Discipline, on Island Records. It was her only album released with the record label after her 5-album deal with Virgin Records was fulfilled with the release of 20 Years Old in 2006. She worked with producers such as Darkchild, Neo, Stargate, Justin Austin, Jermaine Dupri, Tricky Stewart, and The Dream on the album. Her long-time producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did not contribute to the project. The album was consecutively produced by Island Urban President Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson. The album experimented with electro pop, house, and dance pop genres, and also combined R&B and hip-hop oriented tracks. 4 singles were released from the album. The lead single, Feedback, reached number 19 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, becoming her best charting single since 2001, Someone to Call My Lover. While following singles Rock With You, Love Can Be Good then matched the success of Feedback. The album received generally positive reviews, with critics arguing that it wasn't an improvement on her last 2 previous albums. It debuted at number 1 on U.S. Billboard 200, becoming her 6th to top the chart, and her first number 1 album since All For You in 2001. However, sales of the album quickly fell, and by July, the album promotion had officially ended. Janet started her Rock With You tour with the support of Live Nation in early September to positive reviews. By the end of that month, Janet parted ways with her record label due to the album's commercial failure. She parted with Island Records through mutual agreement. Billboard disclosed Janet was dissatisfied with LA's handling of the album and its promotion, and saying the label agreed to dissolve their relationship with the artist at her request. Producer Rodney Jenkins expressed, "I felt like it wasn't pushed correctly. It's just she just didn't get her just due as an artist of that magnitude." Despite radio blacklisting, the album's first single, Feedback, peaked at number 19 on the Hot 100 and number 9 on Pop Songs, her highest charting single since Someone to Call My Lover. Then tragedy struck on June 25th, 2009, when Michael Jackson passed away. The whole world grieved the loss of one of the most incredible, multi-talented, beloved, and greatest entertainers of all time for several months. She spoke publicly concerning his death at the 2009 BET Awards, saying, "I just like to say to you, Michael is an icon To us, Michael is family, and he will always forever live in all of our hearts. On behalf of my family and myself, thank you for all your love. Thank you for all your support. We miss him so much. In an interview, she revealed she had first learned of his death while filming Why Did I Get Married Too? Among mourning with her family, she focused on work to deal with the grief, avoiding any news covering of her brother's death. She said, "It's still important to face reality, and not that I'm running, but sometimes you need to get away for a second." During this time, she ended her 7-year relationship with Jermaine Dupri. Several months later, Janet performed a tribute to Michael at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, performing a duet, Screams. MTV stated there was no one better than Janet to usher with and send a really powerful message. The performance was applauded by critics, with Entertainment Weekly affirming it recognition as energetic as it was heartfelt. On November 17, 2009, she released her second greatest hits album, Number Ones. The double disc album composed of 33 of her number one singles on various music charts around the globe. In 2010, she reprised her role in the sequel to Why Did I Get Married, titled Why Did I Get Married Too? The film opened at number 2, grossing over $60 million. Also, she starred as Joanne in a drama for Color Girls. She announced plans to embark her largest world tour in support of her second hits collection, Number Ones. The tour, entitled Number Ones Up Close and Personal, held concerts in 35 global cities. Selected fans who submitted suggestions on her official website. During the tour, Janet Jackson performed 35 number one hits and dedicated a song to each city. Mattel released a limited edition Barbie of Janet Jackson titled Divinely Janet, auctioned over $15,000 with proceeds donated to Project Angel Fuse. She also released the self-help book True You, A Journey to Finding and Loving Yourself, in February 2011, co-written by David Ritz. It chronicled her struggle with weight and confidence, and also publishing letters from fans. It topped the New York Times bestseller list in the following month. In 2012, she endorsed Nutrisystem, sponsoring a weight loss program after struggling with weight fluctuations in the past. With the program, she donated $10 million in meals to the hungry. She was honored by AMFAR for contributions to AIDS research when sharing the Cinema Against AIDS gallery during the Cannes Film Festival. She also participated in a Civics public announcement for UNICEF to help starving children. On May 16, 2015, she announced plans to release a new album and embarked on a world concert tour. She outlined her intentions to release her new album in the fall of 2015 under her own record label, River Nation. The launch of River Nation established Janet Jackson as one of the few African-American female musicians to own a record label. On June 15, 2015, she announced the first set dates for the North American leg of her Unbreakable World Tour. On June 22, the lead single No Sleep was released from the album, co-written and produced by Janet and her longtime collaborators Jimmy Jin and Terry Lewis. It is the first record to be released under her independent label, Rhythm Nation Records. Lyrically, the song depicts Janet longing to reunite with her lover, anticipating that when she does, the couple will get no sleep. Due to its slow tempo and sentimentality, it has been described as embodying traits of the Quiet Storm radio style. Her solo single debuted on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 at number 67, marking a 40 entry on the charts. It also debuted on the U.S. Hot R&B and Hip Hop songs at number 18. The album version and first featuring J. Cole established it to re-enter the Hot 100 with a new peak position at number 63. Also topping the U.S. Adult R&B song chart. BET presented Janet with the Ultimate Icon Music Dance Visual Award at the 2015 BET Awards, which featured a dance tribute to her performed by Ciara, Justin Darrow, and Tina Shea. On October 2nd, 2015, she released her 11th studio album, Unbreakable, on a Rhythm Nation label. It featured guest appearances from Missy Elliott and J. Cole. The singles released from the album were No Sleep, Damn Baby, and Unbreakable. The theme of the album reflected various experiences of her life, including inspections of her childhood and the death of her brother Michael, and additionally to socially conscious messages prevailed in her 1989 album Rhythm Nation. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 top, becoming her 7th album to top the charts in the U.S. It made her the 3rd act in history of the charts to have a number 1 album in the last 4 decades. It also peaked within top 40 most of major music markets. It received mostly positive reviews from music critics and fans, with some commenting that it reflected her maturity. Unbreakable was named by several publications as one of the best album releases of 2015. As of April 2016, the album sold over 253,000 copies in the U.S. On April 6, 2016, Janet announced that she was planning a family with her husband, who she'd been dating in 2010 and married privately in 2012. Also, she announced that they were expecting their first child together. On January 3rd, 2017, she gave birth to her son. In April of 2017 and announced that the couple that had separated and was pursuing a divorce. On May 1st, 2017, she announced she would assume the Unbreakable tour, which now known as the State of the World Tour. The revamped tour launched on September 7, 2017, revoking the tour theme to reflect social conscious messages from her entire message catalog, with many songs selected from the concert set, along with a corresponding image depicting on stage addressing racism, white supremacy, and police brutality. The tour opened to positive critical reception, with several commenters praising her post-pregnant physical fitness, showing showmanship and socially conscious messages. On May 8th, in May 2018, it was announced that she will receive the Billboard Icon Award at the 2018 Billboard Music Awards. For an interview for Billboard magazine, she revealed that she was working on new music. On August 16, 2018, it announced that Janet Jackson and Rhythm Nation had entered into a partnership with Sin Music Group. The next day, she released the single Made for What, a collaboration with Daddy Yankee. And October 2018, she received her third nomination for introduction into the Hollywood Rock of Fame. On December 13, 2018, Janet was announced for as one of the 7 inductees for the 2019 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A 2-part documentary entitled Janet Jackson for A&E and Lifetime premiered on January 28th and 29th in 2022, respectively. Janet Jackson set to embark the Black Diamond World Tour in 2020. Later that year, the tour was postponed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. She also announced that she was coming out with her upcoming 12th studio album, Black Diamond, which was rescheduled for a 2020 release. When it comes to the debate of who's the queen of pop, the women that are constantly brought up as a counter when being proclaimed as the queen of pop are mostly white, with Madonna being the prime example. Artists like Britney Spears and Celine Dion are constantly compared to Janet as well. When considered pop as a genre, white artists tend to take up most of the space, while black and other artists relate to genres like R&B, despite them making the same pop music white artists make. It is clear that the music industry value the art of black women less than that of its other democratic. The real and true undeniable queen of pop is not Madonna, Britney, or Celine. Her name is Janet Jackson. Without Janet Jackson, we wouldn't be getting artists today like Ciara, SZA, Norma, Lizzo, or any woman daring enough to speak through their truth through art. Art as an activism would not be popular without the bravery Janet displayed when making music. Janet Jackson paved the way for our new generation, and she deserved the respect so often robbed from her. Janet Jackson concluded all that it means to be the queen of pop. It is mistakably that Janet Jackson is a powerhouse in the music industry and wants to top women in pop. The numbers do not lie. Janet Jackson has the most impressive careers of any woman in music, with a staggering 100 million records sold worldwide. This is no small feature for anyone, but for a solo female artist to sell this much is something to celebrate. Apart from her success, her legacy goes far beyond herself. She acted as the blueprint for a magnitude for other female artists. Janet Jackson is one of the most influential artists in history. Her music, dance, and performance style has all been instrumental in inspiring several significant female artists in the years following her debut. Janet Jackson is a special, multi-talented, and iconic national treasure who deserves more respect and credit. Also, she's one of the greatest of all time and undisputable queen of music, period. Before I end this birthday celebration, I want to thank Janet Jackson for everything she did. Happy birthday to the queen. We all love and appreciate you so much. Thank you for enjoying this birthday and musical tribute with me throughout the video. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification for new videos. Like I always say, let's celebrate our legends while they're still alive. Always give them their love, their flowers, their respect and recognition. Also, before I go, I want to give major shout outs to some of my favorite YouTubers who've been doing awesome things and been putting out amazing content on their channel. The first shout out goes out to my gorgeous friend, the breathtaking Maya. Please check out her channel, Miss Maya. My friend Unique on her channel from a unique perspective. My friend Dee on her channel, Coco TTV, the Hilda DC, Ace Eats, Eden with Jay, the real Lady Red ASMR, Just Be Me, Beauty and Beast Journey, Mama Crazy and them, Gets Family TV, Ty Eats, Queen Sugar Experience, Stuff DIY Queen, Tam's Table, MRTV, and Jazzy Will. Please check them out and their channels in my description box. God bless you. Stay safe and blessed. Have a good night. I'm out. Peace.